From Darling Stadium in Hampton, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Peninsula District Football, the Bethel Bruins and the Phoebus Phantoms. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We are here at Darling Stadium for tonight's battle between the Phoebus Phantoms with a 5-1 overall record, 4-1 in the district, and the Bethel Bruins, who are 2-4 overall and 1-4 in the district. Bob, this game, of course, pits these crosstown rivals. It's one of those terrible cliches again. You throw out the records, but we should have a pretty good game tonight.
Well, I think we will have a good game tonight. The Phoebus Phantoms coming into the game had a great game last week against a Denby team that had played Heritage and Hampton both real tough. Got everything working for them real well. And I talked to Coach D about it, and he said, you know, Bethel's got some great athletes. But they had some problems with kids having to miss some games because of some situations over there. And they went up to Gloucester and got beat by Gloucester. And not saying Gloucester didn't have a decent team, but Bethel should be better than 1-4. I'm amazed that they haven't won but one game this in the district. But Josh Lyles, good quarterback. I think he's got as good arm as anybody in a quarterback. Sometimes doesn't make real intelligent decisions on trying to force the ball in where he should maybe wait for, or look for a secondary receiver. But these two teams get together. Bill said it good. We've had some crazy games with Bethel and Phoebus.
Well, and to Josh's defense, of course, he's just a high school kid, and,
right.
You know, it's very difficult, and a lot is expected of these kids. You know, there's a lot of history with Bethel, and there's a lot of pressure to excel, and it's a lot of pressure to be a winning team. Now, he's got a young man that's also rounding into more and more shape, this Ananias Boyd, who started the season banged up, and he started to get healthy, and this can be a lot of trouble for opposing teams.
Well, and he scored got a lot of yardage against a good Heritage defensive team, but Heritage is not real big, but they're very quick. Well, Ananias is probably quick on quick. When he is healthy, he's probably as quick as any of the runners in the district. And you're right, he's really starting to hit his stride. He has come over his injuries that he had at the first of the year, and that could be a big difference tonight. I think Phoebus is going to have to really control the line of scrimmage and hold him to minimum yards. Bethel comes out tonight trying to move the ball and keep the ball away from Phoebus, because Phoebus gets the ball, Tim. You and I know Bill wants to grind it out, run time off the clock, score, keep the ball out of the defense's hand.
Well, and Phoebus, now let's talk a little bit about them. They've got Ronnie Hendricks at quarterback or Leon Mizell, but their big attack is, as you said, there's Travis McWright, over 100 yards per game, and he's backed up by Xavier Adibi, who's averaging almost 60 yards a game. So between the two of them, they're right in the 170-yard per game average on the ground. So, you know, that really, when you have the ball and you can keep it out of the other team's hands, that's a big part of winning a ball game.
Right, and one of the things this game is going to do for Phoebus tonight is they're going to run into a 6-2 defense. Hampton plays the 6-2 defense. Very few other teams play 6-2 defense, either play an odd line or 4-4. So this will give them some experience playing not against the scrub team in practice, but a team that's out to try to knock your block off. But you're right in McWright and Adibi. They're both great runners. I look for Mizell, the quarterback, again tonight. We didn't know it, but the other week when Hendricks went out, he had hurt his wrist. And I think he's still hurt. I don't think we're going to see him tonight. If we do, it'll probably be the second half.
All right, let's go back in time. Bob had a chance to talk with head coach Tracy Parker of the Bethel Bruins a little while ago.
I have Tracy Parker with me, head coach over to the Bethel Bruins. And Tracy, it's been kind of a difficult year, but everybody I talk to tells me what great athletes you've got over Bethel High School. So it's just getting them all to work together.
Well, you know, that's very important for us to get everyone on the same page and to get everyone together. And it's taken us a little while, but hopefully we'll all come together tonight.
Well, when you play a team like Phoebus, do you have to worry about getting the kids up? I think the kids know each other. Is it?
Well, they do, and anytime you play another Hampton City school, the kids are going to get up for it.
What did you do different to prepare for Bethel tonight? I mean, for Phoebus tonight, because I know they like to control the ball. Have you done anything different?
We didn't do anything different. You know, same preparation. We just made sure that our kids were focused in on what Phoebus does, and that we'll stay focused.
Well, I know that the quarterback you got, Josh Lyles, great passer. Sometimes doesn't make the great decisions, but has got a good arm. That's got to help the offensive if you've got somebody that can throw the ball as well as he does.
Well, yes, it does, and we're hoping that we can make some good reads tonight and take advantage of it.
There you go. Sounds like a winner tonight.
All right.
Okay, good enough. Let's stay tuned, and we'll be right back with Tim.
Now the Bruins are going to have to go in against a tough Phoebus team who is very much in the running for postseason play. So, we talked about it when we had Phoebus on before. Having lost to Heritage, they cannot afford to lose another game. So basically, every game they play for the balance of the season is a playoff game, because if they lose one, they basically are eliminated. And of course, they got a big game coming up 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, well, I look at the schedule and I see everybody playing like it's a playoff except Heritage, because they don't have a loss. Hampton's got one loss, Phoebus has got one loss, and Warwick's got one loss. Well, tonight we'll find out about Warwick and Heritage, because they're playing tonight. But you're right. You can't afford to lose another game, and you can't let a team that's 1-4, even as good as the Bruins are, sneak up and bite you. You got to make sure that you do what you can do right tonight. Don't worry about the games we got coming up. Don't worry we're going to have to play Warwick next week. Tonight, we got to take care of the Bruins.
All right, let's go back in time again. Bob had a chance to talk with head coach Bill D. of the Phoebus Phantoms.
I have Coach D with me, head coach of the Phantoms. Bill, awesome game last week. Both sides of the ball did what you wanted them to do.
Yeah, it was a good, solid game. We played well in the kicking game, and offensively we moved the ball. Denby's had a good defense all year, and defensively, we didn't give up much yards. So we were very pleased with the effort.
Now, you got one young man that's not going to play tonight, Phillip Brown, but you've got some leadership on the team that you hope will take up that slack a little bit.
Well, we're gonna go with DJ Parker. DJ's played back there, so he's got experience, and we hate not having Phillip in there, but it's just one of those situations where he's come out here today, and I just don't think it's still pretty tender. So we'll have to go from there.
Okay, tell me a little bit about this Bethel team. You and I talked. They got some good athletes.
Yeah, Bethel's got some good athletes. They got a lot of kids back from last year, and Boyd's starting to hit a stride. He's tough. We saw them play Heritage last week, except for a couple of mistakes. I thought they played Heritage real tough. Defensively, they've played some good defense, and Bethel Phoebus is always a crazy game. So I told them we can't have any double overtimes this year. we got to play this thing in regulation.
Sounds like a winner. Well, listen, good luck to you tonight, Coach.
I appreciate it.
Okay, stay tuned for tonight's starting lineups.
Back here at Darling Stadium, Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. As you see the officials at the center of the field, and the teams have come out of the locker room. We're just about set for the pregame ceremony for tonight's contest. Tonight's game is brought to you by Zooms, with 6 convenient Peninsula locations, and in part by Wood Park Lawn Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the funeral manager. Actually, she's the manager of it. Richard Rawls is the official again tonight. He's the referee. We had him last week. You see Richard and his crew. There's the group for tonight. Tim Brame is the umpire. Frank Herndon is the linesman. Brent Kadish is the line judge. Bernie Riesbeck is the field judge. And Bill Ferry is the back judge. Let's listen in to Richard Rawls.
Make sure you understand what I've told you, because I have to take your first answer. If by chance you don't understand what I tell you, please ask me to repeat, and I'll be happy to do that for you. We already had the coin toss on the sideline. Bethel, you won the toss, elected to receive. Phoebus, you decided you would defend the goal to behind me. I asked that you go around behind me. Bethel, you come around this side. Bethel has won the toss, elected to receive. Gentlemen, let's have a great game.
All right, thank you, Richard, for your usual informative information. Is that redundant? I think that is redundant.
Well, that's okay. You can be redundant when you're complimenting somebody.
That's right, to the point. Bruins will receive. They'll be going from right to left.
Tim, we will pick a player of the game from both of these teams tonight, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. Plaque comes from Engraving Inc. They're located at Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Jim at 596-8850. Dave Buckwalter is the owner. The shirt comes from Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods. They're located in Poquoson. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment and uniforms. Plus, they have screen printing on the premises. Call David Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner.
Well, the regular season winding down. We talked about in the pregame show about how important these games are for the remaining games of the season. Of course, the Phoebus Phantoms with a good shot at postseason play, but they've got a tough couple of games here, not to mention this Bethel Bruins team. But then after they get this game out of the way and they need to win this one to stay in the hunt, then they have to play Warwick and then Hampton. So, boys, they're table set.
Well, you know, if you're going to play some teams that are really good, it's always better to play them towards the end of the season because you should be peaking at that time. And it's always a good contest when we have the Phoebus and the Crabbers meeting with each other. And next week with elusive Marcus Vick will be an interesting game.
Of course, our next game next week will be Hampton and Kecoughtan right here at Darling Stadium. All right, we're about set to get this one underway. Phantoms have the ball teed up.
33 is the one that's kicking, Tim.
Someone stole my lineup sheet.
Well, I'll tell you, it's Darius Barnes. I'll help you out.
Your sheet covering up my sheet.
Well, that happens. But the Bruins are up real close, up around the 20-yard line. They don't look for a very long kick.
Well, it'll be fielded at about the 14-yard line. And the return is right up the middle, across the 35, out close to the 39-yard line. So nice, good field position.
Nice run back. Give you the offense for the Bruins.
That was Clark on the return, All right, for the Bruins. Now we've got your center is Davis. The guards are Hairston and Vines. Waterton and Adams are the tackles. The tight end is Leto. Banks is your split end. The wide out is Haygood. Frazier is the fullback. Boyd the tailback. And Josh Lyles is under center. Double wide receivers to the near side. Split backfield. Lyles on a shovel pass.
Nice. And
well defensed.
Well, and what happened? They picked up a little bit of yardage, but that'll work good against a team that pursues real quick. There's our defense. You see tackles Harrison, Littlejohn. The ends are Adibi and Blunt. The linebackers, we have Pauling, Edmonds, Ellis, and Boone. The cornerbacks, Mazzell and Parker, who is playing for Phillip Brown tonight, and Michael Norwood is the safety. Phillip Brown won't play. Number 2 is injured. We was hoping he'd play, but just can't go tonight.
Kenny Clark was the receiver on that. That was a forward pass for about 3. Now the pitch to Boyd. Boyd got away from one tackler, but he is stacked up at about the line of scrimmage, so he'll get nothing on that play. Good defense on the left side of that line for the Phantoms.
But great pursuit, Tim, and what they kept doing is stringing it out, which when you do, you make him go wider and wider and wider. It shortens his ability to make the cut. Sometimes a great runner will be able to find a seam and cut back, but there was no area that time.
No gain on the play. 3rd down and 7 for the Bruins. Messing with my lineup. Lyles has a little bit of running room and is very close to the first down. It looks like he's going to be about a yard shy. And it'll bring up a 4th down. Josh Lyles scrambling and got about 6, but needed to get to the 49, and they mark it at the 48. So that'll bring on the punting team for Tracy Parker's Bethel Bruins.
And you hate to have to punt on, go 3 and out.
Let's talk about the weather tonight. There is no wind factor. It is a beautiful night for football. It's about 65 degrees, not a breeze in the air, no clouds, no rain chance or anything. It couldn't have been much nicer.
Oh, what a kick.
Lyles just booted the heck out of that ball. If it'll stay out of the end zone, that'll be a great play for the Bruins, and they'll down it at the 1-yard line. What an excellent punt by Josh Lyles.
Well, let me talk a little bit about Mr. Lyles, Tim. Well, you know that Zooms gives an academic award to the senior football player on each one of the Hampton teams who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players receive a plaque at a school board meeting after season. We want to thank David Allen and Zooms for the continued support of WHCS and our student athletes. And, of course, from Bethel High School, the recipient will be Josh Lyles. And for the Phoebus Phantoms, number 5 quarterback tonight, Leon Mazzell. So we have 2 quarterbacks receiving the academic award.
A 51-yard punt and no return. So the Phantoms start in the shadow of their goalpost. They give it to Adibi. Xavier Adibi picks up about 3 to the 4-yard line.
We have center Pavlik. We have the guards Ely and Edmonds. The tackles Littlejohn and Bowles. The tight end is Harris. The split end is DJ Parker. Flanker is Ellis. The fullback Adibi, who carried the ball that time. The tailback McWright. And the quarterback is Leon Mazzell. Tell you a little bit about Luke Ely if I get a chance here after this play.
Ball is marked just shy of the 5-yard line. It's second down and about 7. This is McWright, and McWright is to about the 7-yard line.
I want to talk a little bit about Luke Ely. We got to meet the sponsor for the cheerleaders tonight, and that's Deborah Ely Bristow. It used to be Debbie Marsh. She was at Bethel High School when I was there. That's her son playing. Luke and his grandfather came all the way from Minnesota just to see the game tonight. And his grandmother, Fern Marsh, is here also. So special night for the family.
Third down for the Phantoms. McWright, and he will not get the first down. He'll be stacked up at about the 9-yard line. Here are the Bruins on defense for you now. The guards are Jordan and Solomon. Watson and Ellis are the tackles. The ends are Perry and Siles. Linebackers are Jordan and Wood. The corners are Whitehurst and Jones, and your safety is Kenny Clark. So the Phantoms unable to convert. Looking at a 4th down and about 2 will have their punting team on. And in the end zone, getting set to punt is Greg Navard. Gets a little bit of pressure, gets a good-looking kick away. But it takes a Bruin bounce back towards the Phantoms, and it's downed immediately by number 12, Mike Dixon of the Phantoms. So an excellent field position for the Bruins on the exchange of punts.
I was going to say, they went from where about their 39 to the Bethel 30 what?
Well, they punted from the 49, but they gained, 10, 15, about 18 yards
well,
on
I'm
the exchange.
thinking about where he was when he was standing when he punted the ball.
Okay.
But you're right, the line of scrimmage was the 49. But yeah, they almost 20 yards difference there.
That was a great punt by Lyles to give him that field position. So now Lyles at quarterback from the 32. And this is Ananias Boyd, and Boyd crosses the 30 to about the 28-yard line.
Little hole open that time, and this is a little scat back, and we have been impressed with him since he's been running the ball for the Bruins. But this year started off hurt, had an ankle that just wouldn't heal. And, of course, these young guys, they hate to not play. And sometimes when you play, and you're going about 75 to 80%. So it's good to see him back healthy.
Picked up 4, second down and 6. And Boyd cuts it to the left and gets close to the 26-yard line. That'll be about 4 yards shy, so give him 2 on that last play.
One of the inside linebackers, 15, Maury Pauling, making the stop that time. He had to maintain his position on the field because of the cutback that time by Ananias. If he had not been there, he'd have picked up enough yardage for the first down.
So third down and about 4 for the Bruins.
Tim, I almost look like this might be 4-down territory. If they don't make it, I look for them to go for it because of you're not going to give them much on the punt.
And they'll have to make that decision because Boyd is unable to pick up the first. He is just inside the 25-yard line, needs to get to the 22. So it'll be 4th down and about 3 as we've played almost half of the first quarter.
Well, looks like we may have a field goal attempt here. The field goal kicker is that number 10, Kyle Franklin?
I believe it is. And let's see where they're going to mark this ball. No, I think it's actually number 73.
You're right.
Joe Solomon.
Solomon, that's right.
Okay, so
Looked
it
at the
will
wrong
be from the 31-yard line, which would make it a 41-yarder. No breeze to contend with. And he's got it up, and it is going to be short. Good attempt, but off the mark. So the kick is wide to the right and short. And the Phantoms hold.
Still it's better than punting the ball, because you punt it and it goes in the end zone. You're going to get it out at the 20. At least you had a chance for 3 points. That's not a bad call.
So the Bruins are unable to capitalize on their second possession. So now the Phantoms will have their second shot at it with 5:39 left in the first quarter. No score from Darling Stadium. Game videotaped on Friday the 13th.
Whoa.
We've got motion, and let's see who jumped and when.
Talk a little bit. I got to talk with Richard Rawls earlier tonight, Tim. We had a situation last week where there was I don't want to talk over Richard on top of him, but there was a lineman that was on the end of the line, was an eligible receiver, but the wideout stepped up the line of scrimmage, which then covered him up and made him an ineligible receiver, went down the field and touched the ball, actually in this case caught it. That in itself was offensive pass interference, 15 yards, loss of down. Big call. You and I didn't know that.
Learning some of the nuances. All right, the Phantoms backed up 5 yards, so it's 1st and 15 at the 15. Out of the I formation, double wides to the near side. Long count. Mizell gives to McWright, and a flag thrown into the pile there.
And that's usually holding when you have it in the pile.
Picked up about 4 to the 19-yard line, but, well, I guess.
I don't see a flag.
No, I thought I saw the umpire throw a flag. I apologize. I'm hallucinating again. These.
And another call we had was what they call illegal substitution. We'll talk about that in a minute.
No penalty. I'm seeing things. It's another senior moment for me.
Well, they picked up 4 yards.
There you go. This is McWright, and McWright is out very close to the first down, depending on the mark.
Oh, he got it.
You're right. It's just across the 30, enough to move the chains.
Nice call. That was a draw play. But this illegal substitution, Tim, when a player comes in to substitute for another player, the other player coming off the field has to leave the huddle.
Yeah, when you said coming in, and you can't have 12 men in the huddle, but except for just a fraction, right?
Right. He's got to come off immediately, and that's a judgment call. But if they're there too long, illegal substitution, and that's a 5-yard penalty. Saw that a lot last week.
All right, first down for the Phantoms. Pitch far side. Adibi makes a nice cut, and he picks up about 6, almost 7 yards.
And we got it. Why are they stopping the clock here? We got a flag.
There is a flag. I didn't see that one, so I've made up for the one I did see.
You saw it in the future, right?
That's right. I was just ahead of my time. That's all. Clipping is the initial indication, so that will be a very big penalty against the Phantoms. They had picked up about 5 yards, but that will wipe that out.
Well, that will be from the point of the infraction. Yes. Take it clear back to the, what about the 19, it looks like.
Foul, repeat first down.
Yep. Point of the foul.
So they move it back to the 19. It's still first down, but now it's first down and 21.
You on or off? Back up. You're okay.
Mizell wants to throw, got the man wide open over the middle, and he is out for a first down.
That's the big tight end, isn't it?
That is the big tight end, number 87, and that is Shaheed Harris. Now, we've seen him do that before, and we've seen that exact play. It's a very effective play that they've been able to be successful with all the way out to the 43-yard line. Here's the replay.
That's the end of it.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about our crew. We get a chance. We don't have our normal replay person tonight, and if we do get one, it's because Scotty jumped over the countertop and is doing it for us.
McWright gets the call. He is out to the 48-yard line, so he'll pick up 5.
Our mobile cable technicians is Asia Carroll and Era Towns. Scotty is doing not only directing but doing the instant replay. Ron Baton, Susan Bowers, and Nate Braxton on the cameras. And Andy Foley doing graphics and audio. And Don Trouse is not with us, so he's still the engineer. Okay, Don Trouse still the engineer.
2nd down and 5 for the Phantoms. McWright, right side. He's got first down yardage and more down to the Bethel 41-yard line.
Well, I tell you that, how big was that pass to Shaheed Harris?
Yeah,
I mean, they were back, they had a
1st and 21.
Gee, yeah. Picked up the first down and loosened up the defense a little bit and we got a
Bethel timeout, and it'll give us a chance. You already talked about Zooms and giving this award. Of course, we want to talk about the fine products that you can find at your local Zooms. They've got the Beantown coffee, Krispy Kreme donuts. They got potato wedges, fried chicken. They got pizza. They got Citgo gas. They got everything. And when I stop at my friendly Zooms there in Newport News,
they say,
Tim, not Norm, but Tim. And I come in there and they fill me up.
They got a bar stool for you and everything, I suppose. What do you say, friendly gas?
Don't listen to this man. He's a sick puppy.
We're talking, of course, about our statistician.
I'm not even going to mention his name. Don't give me.
You're not even going to talk about Bob Kelly?
No.
Oh, you don't want to mention his name?
Don't want to mention his name.
Hey, let me tell you what. He said they have friendly gas.
It's your friend. Never mind. But I do. Oh, that was good. I just got a shower, and I didn't need it. It's not even Saturday night yet.
Wait a minute. I thought you said there was no chance of showers tonight.
There wasn't. That's outside the booth. All right, first down. We're having too much fun up here. First down at the Bethel 41-yard line after the timeout. Adibi gets the call and picks up 3. What I wanted to say was Adibi, if that name sounds familiar, there was some high praise being passed around last night.
Did he have a good game last night?
He had an excellent game last night for, of course, the Virginia Tech Hokies as they annihilated West Virginia.
He playing defensive end for him.
And a true freshman. I mean, he's just doing an outstanding job. And his younger brother here, Xavier, is doing a great job with these Phoebus Phantoms, and will probably follow right in the footsteps.
Well, if the people up at Virginia Tech are smart, they will, but they got a couple more years to wait. He's only a sophomore.
Well, I heard he might come out. Might come out early. Oh, that was tough. That was a good defensive play. They saw that one.
Well, I'm impressed with the young man. Who was that?
That was Adibi again making a catch.
Adibi did a great job of hanging on to the ball.
Yeah. They saw that one and read it quite well, but not until Adibi picked up yardage to the 34-yard line, right between the two, actually, and it brings up a 3rd down and a long 3. Phantoms moving now in Bethel territory, but a big play here with 1:45 left in the scoreless first quarter. Mizell, right side. This is McWright. He's up the middle. He's got yardage. He may go. He will score.
He did a great job of avoiding a couple of would-be tacklers. Young man just amazes me and impresses me. He looked like he was being stopped pretty well. Pops through and just high steps out of a couple of tacklers.
No stranger to the end zone this season. McWright takes it 34 yards to cap a very fine 80-yard drive by the Phantoms.
Tim, and he'll be back. The fullback and the tailback will be back next year for Bill D.
Barnes on to try to make it 7-0. His kick is long enough, and it is good. So the Phantoms draw first blood as a nice drive on their second possession.
80-yard drive, wasn't it?
Yep, 80 yards, capped by the 34-yard drive and the fine pass by Shaheed Harris, or to Shaheed Harris, I should say. Here is the replay of the touchdown.
Watch it right on ground level. Watch it coming right at you. Watch the step right here. Right there, just right out of a would-be tackler's. Nice job. Good blocking at the point of attack, too. You know, we always talk about how good the runners are, but if you know somebody, big guy up there blocking for you, you might as well forget about it. And, of course, we're talking on the offensive line, the center is Pavlik, the guards is Ely and Edmonds, and the tackles Littlejohn and Bowles. Did a great job that time, Tim.
This backfield, now if you take Mizell out of the equation and put Ronnie Hendricks in there, is all going to be back next year, because Hendricks is a junior, sophomore is Adibi, and McWright is a junior. So a good-looking offensive part of the offensive team coming back.
What a nice nucleus to work with.
Yes, getting that experience and winning while they're doing it. So the Phantoms up 7-0 with 1:37 left in the first quarter. Not in your picture, but there's a trio of Bruins. Now they split up. They were all standing very close together. Boyd is in the middle.
Yeah, they're trying to kick the ball away from Boyd.
Darius Barnes will be the kickoff man. And this one will succeed in kicking away from Boyd, but it's going to be a short kick, taken at the 20 and out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. So the Bruins will have good field position for their third possession of the ball game, looking to answer now against the Phantoms, who scored on that 80-yard drive. Bethel 1-4 in the district, 2-4 overall. Phantoms' only blemish was that loss as you watch the kickoff replay here.
Good job of following his blocker that time. Blocker was Justin Wood, number 44, one of the linebackers.
That was Kenny Clark fielding the ball. Phantoms 4-1 in the district, 5-1 overall.
Nobody in the backfield, Tim.
Yep. And got a new quarterback in there as well, as the pass is rifled to Brian Haygood. And in the game now at quarterback is Kyle Franklin, number 10, replacing Josh Lyles. And this is not unusual. Kyle Franklin has played in the previous game we saw the Bruins play.
Well, Kyle is, I don't have their Bethel's, what year they are in school for the Bruins.
Nope, that's not on the list. You're right. Franklin feeling the pressure and had to unload it considerably quicker than he wanted to. His intended receiver was Willis Overton, number 89, but never a chance as the blitz from the left side just...
yeah, he had to unload. He tried to lob it up there, but Overton thought he was held up a little bit. But the referee didn't see anything unusual.
No, that was just good coverage, I think, and he just never got into the open. The play needed more time to develop and didn't have enough time. Third down and long. And Boyd is stacked up for a loss back to the 30-yard line. So the Phoebus defense is, shall we say, gaining momentum as a result of the offense going down the field, and they hold the Bruins on a 3-and-out.
I tell you that it makes the defense feel real good if they can stop them and they get to sit over and watch and the offense hang on to the ball and take some time off the clock.
So Lyles will be back in deep punt formation, standing at his 17-yard line. Gets it away. It's a low end-over-end kick. Takes a nice Bethel hop, and it will roll and be touched dead at the 34-yard line. No flags as I look around. So the Phantoms will have it with good field position, starting from their 34.
Yeah, and we got 7 seconds left before we'll change ends of the field.
James Bond time, 007 on the board.
You're amazing.
Next week, we watch the replay here. They just kicked it away and did a good job of avoiding the run back. 35-yard punt with no return. Next Friday night, Kickotan and Hampton. Can you believe this is our 7th game of the season, Bob? We just got 2 regular season games after this one left.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Mizell, and he hands off to Adibi, and Adibi did really well to get back to the line of scrimmage, let alone a yard.
There was some knocking going on down there that time.
You could hear it, and Richard Rawls signals the end of the first quarter.
And that was number 41 for the Bruins, Tim. That time it was in the middle of that, and that was Brian Jordan.
Adibi got 2. Watch the replay from the ground level. And boom, I mean, he just stuck it. But look at Adibi drive and get 2 yards out of that play when it looked like he would be stopped cold. A nice effort on his part. We've played 12 minutes. Our score after 1 is Phoebus 7 and Bethel nothing. got both of the bands here tonight. Both sides are rocking. You see the the Bethel band on the far side. They did a very, very fine rendition of the national anthem to open tonight's ball game. Second week in a row, we've had a flawless, near flawless performance by the bands. All right, so the Phantoms, second down and about 8. Ball at the 36, pitch to the near side for McWright. He tries to get by one, he does. Got a block and turn the corner out for a first down at the 47-yard line.
Got some speed.
Travis McWright showing why he is one of the leaders in the district in rushing. I think he's number 2 in the statistics I saw today that came out. But frankly, I had them on my desk, and they're still on my desk.
Still on your desk. Well,
there we see it coming right at you.
and that is right at you. Good camera work. Ron Baton down it.
In harm's way a lot of the time. Got motion. Phantoms thought he might have stepped in the neutral zone, but that was not the case. This is Xavier Adibi, and he crosses midfield to the 49, where they'll mark his forward progress. Say his knee hit right on the 49.
Tim, that was not what they were looking at and pointing was making sure everybody knows their blocking assignments when a linebacker comes up and is going to come in the one of those gaps that time.
Gain of 4 on that last play. Second down and 6. Phoebus in Bethel territory, leading 7-0. McWright, and McWright is bounces outside, and finally taken out by Kenny Clark, but not until he picks up another Phoebus first down at the 34-yard line.
Tim, he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, it looked like.
He is really coming on strong, this Travis McWright, just the junior. Watch this replay. McWright is stopped right there. You think he is, but got around the corner.
9 carries, 95 yards.
McWright with 11 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the half already has 95 yards rushing. Play action. Mizell wants to throw. He's got his man, and that is once again Rashid Harris, who has who has the ball at the 20. Let's see where they mark it. 26-yard line, and that's a pickup of about 8. So the Phantoms mixing it up a little bit. They've been very successful running the ball, but every now and then you loosen up that defense.
Well, and you got a target to 6'4", 255 out there. I mean, he's easy to spot amongst those smaller DBs.
Yes, he is. Looks like a huge target. Second down and 2. McWright gets the call. He's got the first down and then more. And nice open field tackle.
Nice tackle.
That was a fine effort. That's number 7, Derek Banks, who just took the very fleet-footed.
No, it wasn't. It was number 3, Tim.
Was it 3?
Was Kyle Whitehurst, yeah.
Thought it was 7.
I did too at first, but that was Whitehurst. Watch this. Number 3 is going to get him right there. That's number 3.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
I thought it was 7 at first too, and then he stood up, and I said, I believe that's Kyle. Great job. Got him where you can stop him, and that is around the ankles.
He did get the first down, however. They mark it just inside the 22-yard line. The Phantoms moving the ball again. On the option, the pitch near side, McWright.
Oh, nice cut.
It was an excellent cut, and that you're absolutely astute as Kenny Clark grabbed for nothing because he was there and then he wasn't.
Well, see, and Kenny was going to say, okay, I'm going to make sure you don't go outside. I got the angle on you, and he just cut inside of him, and Kenny wasn't able to make the move. Watch this.
You'll see this exactly what's going to happen here.
Right that little move. And that picked up the probably about 3 or 4 more yards.
Picked up a total of 8 yards on that play. That puts McWright over the 100-yard mark. He's got 103, and we're still 9:20 from halftime. This is McWright again as he shows some of his power as he runs to the 8-yard line, which will bring up a 1st and goal.
I tell you what, I'm impressed with our instant replay guy tonight.
Yeah, that's not easy with him doing all the other stuff, too.
Well, you know, and he does a good job because he's pole vaulting back and forth across the console.
That's a scary visual.
I can see Andy underneath it praying.
12 for 108 yards.
12 carries for 108 here in the first half for Travis McWright.
And Tim, we just under 9 minutes to go.
Yeah. This is a DB, and a DB will not get much as the defensive line was waiting for that play.
I tell you, there was that was the one time that the defensive line controlled that line of scrimmage. No place for Xavier to go.
Darryl Jones, number 58, among others. Justin
Watch
Wood, number
this.
44. You see a DB will try the right side, and his first.
Big guy, what is that? 58.
58.
Yeah.
Jones got him first, slowed him up, and then got help. I'm telling you, this Scotty is no slouch. You'll be elevated to the instant replay man if you keep this up.
We can work on that for you, Scotty.
We have friends who can get you that job. Second and goal. Got a new number in the backfield, just as I'm getting used to some of the numbers here. We got a number 8 in there, and that is Maurice Boone, according to mine. According to mine, I've got a double here. I got a Maurice Boone twice on that schedule you sent me.
No, I didn't send you that one. You look at mine, you don't see.
You sure? You sure now?
This is mine.
Oh, okay.
I got the coaches at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, don't be blaming me and you get something from Killen.
Maurice Boone, that's right.
Well, and Maurice Pauling was number 15, was in the backfield that time blocking.
Yep. So Bill D.
Going to have who's getting the timeout?
Put some new blood in. This is a Phoebus timeout. It's 3rd and goal at the 6-yard line. As you see the Phoebus Phantom cheerleaders, we have 7:36 left here in the first half. If you joined us a little late, the Phantoms on their second possession took the ball after they missed field goal attempt of 41 yards by the Bruins. Took the ball from their 20 and drove the field with a 34-yard run by Travis McWright, capping an 80-yard drive. That came with 1:37 to go in the first period. And the extra point was good, and that's where we stand right now, 7-0 in favor of the Phantoms. .736 left to go here. Cool, crisp. You know, I'm telling you, if someone said, look, I want you to describe the very most perfect night to watch a football game, this would be it. There's no wind. It's nice out there. You and I are sitting up here with shorts. We're not particularly cold. And of course, that's a little cold about out there with shorts on.
But and Tim, minimum cost to come to a ball game, and what great entertainment.
$4. I mean, you know, you just can't really get much better entertainment. Good family entertainment. Make plans to bring the family out before the season's over, and it's rapidly concluding. In motion is a DB, but that's not the man. Harris is the man. Beautiful pass over the middle from Mizell to Harris from 6 yards out. We have to check with our statistician. If the ball is between the 6 and the 7, how far was the touchdown?
7.
7? If it's more than the 6, it's
yeah.
Is that how it goes, Bob?
If it's between 6 and 7, you give him the 7 yards. If it's 6.5, you give him 7.
He has it as 6, but the ball was not on the 6. It was between the 6 and 7. So I've got him as a 6-2. Here's the replay. You decide for yourself. This is a perfect play as they take and put Xavier, a DB, in motion, and then right over the middle, Shaheed Harris for the easy touch.
Good hands for a big guy.
The extra point.
They've thrown him 3 passes, and he's caught all 3 of them, Tim. He does a good job blocking when he is supposed to, and of course, you as a defensive back, you kind of forget the guy that's not going out for a pass all the time.
So a little more than 7.5 minutes left in the first half.
I'd give him a 7-yard touchdown
Let's
pass.
give him 7. We'll call it 7. But I don't know how. I would be curious because I've never quite been certain of that statistically.
Yeah, because you can't say 6.5 yards.
No, well, it's got to be one or the other.
Yeah.
And I guess if
taken away from, I'd better give him the half yard. That's what I'd do. I mean, I'm not the statistician, but then.
What are you, Bob? Hey, what's happening, Bob?
I'm up here.
Oh, there we are. That's him.
That's me.
That's him.
And
this is me.
That's what's his name?
That's what's his name. The guy who gave me a shower earlier.
Is he the one who gave you the shower?
What's his name's lovely wife, Tina? Is that what happened?
He's got a paid audience out there.
Yes. All right, the Phantoms. And they're ready to kick it off again. This is a squib kick, short kick taken at the 35-yard line by one of the Upmen. And he is trying to get to the corner and did so. That was number 44, Justin Wood, with a good return.
Yes, he is. Great return. But there, you can see the strategy. Don't kick it to Ananias Boyd. Yeah, we see the end of that run. Did get around the corner. Justin showing great speed.
Speaking of the offense of the Phantoms, Mizell is perfect so far. 4 for 4 for 45 yards here in the first half.
3 of them to Shaheed. Who was the other one to? I'm trying to remember.
I'll try and remember. But in any event, the ball belongs to the Bruins. Lyles back in at quarterback. Wants to go long, and he just went a little too long. Some contact there, but incidental, good no call by the officials.
Great. He had great time that time when he dropped back. Great protection, because when he stepped up, he was able to step up in the pocket and make the throw. And I think he had more behind the ball than what he intended to have behind.
Unlike last week's game when we had this front come through and the winds gusted all night long in the Hampton-Warwick game, the air tonight is perfectly still, and it's a perfect opportunity for these passers not to have to deal with that. 2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Inside handoff to the fullback. First time tonight we've seen the fullback play. That was number 30, William Frazier. Picked up about 2 yards. 3rd down and about 8. There you see Bill D and the coaching staff on the sideline.
I never talked about the coaching staff tonight, have I?
I don't believe you have.
Well, I will if I can find them.
You brought it up, not me.
Oh, Tim said, where are they?
There
they are. There they are.
They're down and 8. Lyles feels some pressure and gets away from one, but will not get away from another.
78, Micah Littlejohn had him first, got away from him. When he turned around, he ran into Maurice Pauling. Oh, no, I think it was number 51.
No, it was 15. You're right.
Yeah, it was Maurice.
Now here's the replay.
Right here, watch Littlejohn getting hit a couple times. That was Maurice to boom. Right there, the Bruin coaches, and I'll talk about them after we get this kickoff.
That was Mike Lewis who had him in the grasp, and then Maury Pauling finished him off. This is a low end over end, and this could be returnable, but Mizell lost his footing and has to stay away from the ball. But it's, again, at the 34-yard line, so good starting position. In fact, that's the same starting position the Bruins gave the Phantoms the last time, 34-yard line.
Coaches for the Bethel Bruins, we have Tracy Parker's the head coach, Creighton Incarmenius, Michael Brown, Michael Corey, Gary Singleton, Devon Hill, Jonathan Dean, Steve Elliott, Jerry Jenkins, Travis Holt, Ernest Banks, McGill Incarmenius, and over at the over at the Phoebus, we have head coach. I'll try to get this out. Of course, we have head coach Bill D.
Travis McWright got the corner flag.
We got a flag.
Probably holding, but it will wipe out a very nice gain. That was a 10, and a late flag comes in here now, as apparently a bit of a scuffle took place after the play.
Well, we have Bill assisted by Greg Navard, Greg Day, Stan Sexton, Bob Sislow, Dick Van Dyke, Ron Johnson, John Stein, Tom Ward, Jeff Holman, and Jerry King.
All right, here's the replay. See if we can detect the penalties. Can't see it there, but holding is the call. And then another flag after the play was dead. We'll listen to Richard Rawlings.
Holding is the charge against the Phantoms. Personal foul also a charge against the Phantoms, and a personal foul against the...
All right, so what will happen is the offsetting personal fouls, and they'll take the holding penalty.
I would think so.
Apparently a little shoving after the play, nothing serious.
Well, I think they shoved because you shouldn't have been holding me.
Yep. So trying to sort it out as Richard Rawls.
That's it.
Okay.
There are 3 fouls on the play. We have holding against the offense. We have a dead ball, personal foul against the offense, personal foul against defense. Those 2 offset, we will administer the holding penalty from the spot of the foul, 10 yards.
Couldn't have put it any better.
10 yards from the point of the infraction. We'll take it back to what?
That'll be 10 yards.
There's a young lady, Susan Bowers, up there enjoying this nice evening.
I don't know about that, but she's working.
Well, but she's enjoying this night. It's not raining. And that's what Braxton said. It ain't raining.
It ain't raining. All right, we got a 1st and 14 after the infraction. Phantoms lead 14-0 as we have 5:28 to go in the half. McWright. And McWright is out to the 39-yard line.
He's such amazing. It looks like a tackler has got him, and he sticks his arm out and keeps his feet moving and just runs away from that tackler.
9 more yards on that play for McWright.
Watch the replay, and watch what I'm talking about here. Nice draw play right here. You think he's going to be tackled, and he just outruns the guys. You don't hold on tight, you're not going to get me.
2nd down and 6 after the nice run by McWright, who is well into the 100-plus yardage here with still 4:45 to go in the half. Flare pass. This is Boone. Maurice Boone is out to the 41-yard line, picks up about 3.
Tim, that's a flanker screen. You notice how he came back, tried to pick up some blocking? You'll see that a lot in the pros run that a lot, and some colleges are using that now. It's you're trying to get the ball to that wide receiver who is very good at one-on-one and that sort of thing. And you see him come. Now watch him come back, picking up the lineman going down to make some blocks and try to spring it.
Bruins did a nice job of making that just a short game. Mizell. 3rd down and 3. McWright. And he got to the corner. Looks like he has the 1st down. Just depends on where he went out of bounds.
Went out short of the 45, it looks like, where they're
real
spotting it. So,
well, he looks like he has the 1st down, and he does.
He does. The spot was just at the 45.
Mm-hmm. So the Phantoms will keep the ball, and 3:56 left. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining. They go without a huddle. However, if you did go out of bounds, the clock won't restart until they snap the ball, so they really could have gone into a huddle had they chosen to do so. But McWright, and he is out to the 48-yard line, so he picks up another 3. Rapidly moving first half as we approach the 3:40 mark. Phoebus 14, Bethel nothing. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, and Bob Killen up here in the booth. Channel 46 crew bringing you high school football on the peninsula. I hope you're enjoying the game. We're enjoying bringing it to you. 7th game of the season. Nice pass over the middle for a 1st down at the 43-yard line. That's a new number in the backfield. That's Marlon Ellis, a junior who makes the grab. He'll be back next year.
Yeah, I don't even have him.
Another 1st down.
What do you have, Marvin Ellis? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong roster.
Another senior moment for Bob.
Yeah. Got my rosters mixed up.
I did that last week. I know exactly where you're coming from here. Little pass to McWright, and that play was kind of doomed from the beginning.
Oh, that didn't look pretty at all.
No,
they caught it, ran 4 yards, and lost 2.
Yeah, they were going backwards and backwards and backwards, and by then the Bruin defense was ready for it.
Tim, I don't think that Mazzell has missed had an incomplete pass tonight, has he?
Bob was asking the question, was that a pass or a lateral? I think it was a pass, but it was very close.
It could have been a lateral. That was a good call.
All right, 2nd down, long 12. Mizell Wants to throw. It's incomplete, stopping the clock with 2:27 remaining in the first half. We're going to return to Darling Stadium right after this brief timeout. Back to the live action. 2:27 remaining. Did not miss a thing. Mizell, by the way, 7 out of 8 now, thanks to Bob. 49 yards here in the first half.
Killen will do that to you. Oh, the inside screen.
Yep, and that's Mr. Harris again. Shaheed Harris to the 39-yard line, well short of the first down and a penalty flag. So it would be 4th down, but the penalty flag will determine the call here as well. Watch the replay here, right in the middle screen.
No flag, no flag. Inadvertent, no.
Nope.
Yeah, we don't call it inadvertent flag. We call it no flag.
No flag. I don't know what that was. It's got to do with an ineligible downfield, I believe, is the way it was described to us.
Right, but he didn't pass.
It's just called disregard the flag, I think is what they've called it. But it is 4th down in any event, and looks like they will kick the ball as Greg Navard is back on his side of midfield. Kicking, a fake, and it's faked out everybody because that ball is on the ground, and the Bruins will have the ball in great field position with 2:03 to go.
Well, that was a fake punt, but the ball never got to the guy that it was supposed to get to. It went below his legs.
I looked downfield to see who was back deep to receive, and as I looked up, I saw the ball skipping along the ground. I don't know whether it was a bad snap or what, but in any event, it's the Bruins' ball, and they have a chance here to do something with 2:03 left, and they've got the ball at the Phoebus 34-yard line. I will tell you that to this point in the first half, the Bruins have yet to register their first down. It'll be no time like the present to get the offense clicking. Lyles back to pass, steps up and is taken down.
Whoa.
He had a moment, and the moment left him very quick. That was 78. Is that Micah Littlejohn?
Micah Littlejohn.
He
Whoa.
unloaded on Josh Lyles. Looked like he had some running room, and then all of a sudden he was down on the ground looking up at the stars.
Where, somebody get a number of that bus that hit him?
37-yard line. They back him up 3 yards on that play. Clock moving with 1:33. See
Boom.
this? Yeah, I mean, he just leveled it. Back to the live action on the draw play, and this is going very short yardage. That was Boyd, who's been used sparingly here. Of course, the Bruins just haven't been able to get untracked on their offense.
Well, if you can't get any first downs, you can't get any continuity, you can't get your rhythm, you can't get your time. Everything is predicated on repetition. Well, you're getting 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. It's hard to get it. That's not the kind of repetition you want.
You saw the clock. We're down to 50 seconds. Each team still has 2 timeouts. 3rd down and a dozen. And hit just as he throws the ball, and it's on the mark. Caught it for a first down. They say he's got it at the 13-yard line, and Lyles was hit hard at the end of that play. He is down and not getting up yet. Officials have taken a timeout for the injury.
Watch this thing. He
got racked. Watch this. Just as he unloaded it, he got belted, but he got it to his receiver on a nice long pass completion. But there you see Lyles. That was 89 Willis Overton making the grab. And of course, as I said, that was or is their first down, but it may have been a costly first down as Lyles is still on the ground at midfield. There you see the training staff attending to Josh Lyles. And let's just hope and pray he's just had the wind knocked out. He might have, because he was standing upright throwing, and he got nailed right as he threw it. It looked like he might have caught a hit right to the stomach. But let's just hope that's all it was.
Yeah, just hope it's nothing serious. But you could tell he was a little bit of pain.
he paid the price, but he got the first down at the 13-yard line. So the Bruins.
Oh, get him up, Tim, and I think that's what it was. He's a little groggy, but he's coming off and under his own power, and that's always a good sign. That'll bring in that young man that they had brought in earlier. I think it was number 10, Kyle
Franklin will come in. He had looked good in his limited stint here in the first half. But hopefully all it was got the wind knocked out. And you see Bill D exhorting his troops to dig in here, not to give up a late first half score. You can hear him. Bruins put trip receivers to the near side, nobody in the backfield. Franklin over the middle, and he is down to the 1-yard line. And that'll be enough for a first down, so that will automatically stop the clock with 18 seconds, and they still have 2 timeouts.
I was going to say, they still have 2 timeouts.
Yeah, and they'll take one of them, I'm pretty certain, right now, and they will.
Watch this play. Now he's got trips to the bottom of the screen and one receiver at the top, and that's who he goes to.
Yeah, and that was finally got him in the game earlier. Derek Banks, number 7.
And that was DJ Parker, number 7, making the stop that time as the young man that came in is playing for Philip Brown, who is hurt, is dressed for tonight's game but is not playing.
So it's 1st and goal at the 1 for the Bruins, and this would be a huge turnaround as the Phantoms pretty much had this game under control. They were moving the ball. They had a 4th down, and instead of just kicking the ball, it looked like they went for the fake punt and gave the Bruins the ball with good field position. And now the Bruins on successive pass plays have registered just their only first 2 first downs of the ball game.
Well, Tim, this is you got to go for a run here, because if you're not successful, then you can call a timeout. Well, I don't know. They got it spread out. I don't know if they're going to go with a Phoebus is going to go a timeout. They want to look at what formation they were going to be in. They were in the formation with no backs, so everybody spread wide.
So now the Phantoms take the time. That was Franklin, number 10. 18 seconds remaining, and there are our mobile cable technicians.
We want to congratulate Asa Carroll is going to sign a letter of intent to go to Seton Hall, play basketball and run track up there. Congratulations to that young lady, the one in the blue. Having
both in the blue. Which blue are we talking about?
Well, the one closest to us, having a little something to drink there.
She was funny. She and I were talking while you were having the interview. She was having a running commentary. I think my job might be in jeopardy here if we ever get her up in the booth. All right, we're back, set to go. It is Kyle Franklin at quarterback. And he'll just keep it, and I don't know that he got in. No signal, no. They say he did not get in. Clock continues to move. The Bruins do have another timeout, and they will use it here. Their final timeout of the first half with 10 seconds remaining.
What he tried to do is get the ball across the goal line, but his knees were down before he got the ball across the goal line, and that was the call by the officials.
You might have seen that play last night in the West Virginia game,
where Michael Vick got the ball, was knocked out as he was trying to dive into the end zone. That's the one you're talking about?
No, I'm actually talking about the one where the man was laying on the ground and reached over to touch the goal line, but his knee was down, and before he reached over the goal line, it's where the ball is when your knee touches the ground, and he had the ball tucked underneath closer to his stomach, so he could not reach out after his knee went down and place the ball over. It's always a judgment call, but I think in that case they got the right call. But yeah, I know what you're talking about too, when he was near the goal line, the plane of the goal line.
That was very close to being the ball being in the end zone. But
all right, the Bruins now, with having used their final timeout, if they don't get this one in the end zone, they won't have time for another play. Franklin keeps it, and quite frankly, he didn't get in. In fact, the ball comes loose. I believe the whistle had blown. Yeah, they're going to say the play was dead, but that will not change the fact that he did not get in. And there really shouldn't be any reason for the clock not to continue to run here. Bill Deese thinks that Mizell did recover the loose ball, but that's not the call. The whistle had blown. And there you see Mizell will bring it back, and Bill is disappointed. Now, he is aware of the fact that the Bruins have gotten a break here because they've stopped the clock. There wasn't any reason for it to stop.
Well, they can spike the ball, and hopefully that will. Yeah, they can spike the ball and stop the clock, Tim.
But why was the clock stopped? There was no reason for the clock to having been stopped. There was no incomplete pass. See, the sideline here for the Phantoms is saying, why isn't the clock running? And they've got a good point. There was no incomplete pass.
Well, I think he's saying something about them running the ball or something, and they stopped the clock. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the clock should have continued to run. Even though they blew the whistles stopping the play, the clock should have continued to run. There was no incomplete pass.
I think I'd fake it up the middle and give the ball to Ananias going around the corner.
Now they'll crank the clock. He did get it off, and it didn't work because the fullback got the call, and he did not get in. William Frazier was stopped cold, and quite frankly, the Bruins, in my opinion, got an extra play out of this that they shouldn't have been entitled to, but it's no different anyway because he didn't get in. Now there's some discussion, and the Bruins are applauding. I'm not sure they're aware that the time has run out. Now they're calling the Phantoms back. What in the world? They've got to stop the team who's already headed to the locker room. Unless they're saying it was
got in?
down. Well, no, I don't.
I didn't see any.
I'm really confused. I'd love to have Richard Rawls explain this to us.
How did the clock stop?
That was the last play, Coach. I like that clock stop. Let's get this organized. Get the defense back out here, please.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's a running play. They stopped it. This is insane. Yes, it is. It's terrible. Everybody blew the whistle.
How in the
We need a timeout. Give the kid benefit of the doubt. Timeout.
There's no time on the clock. I'm totally baffled, Bob. Have you got any insight to what's going on here? Because
maybe Richard will explain it to us. I don't know.
You gave him.
I looked at the offside. That's why they fouled. Held 2 seconds left.
He says there's still 2 seconds on the clock.
how can there be?
That's what Bill wants to know. And I have no.
Yeah. But there's no time on the clock.
I look at right side of
Are they saying that he spiked the ball?
that they would get 3 plays in 5 seconds.
Well, now that's the only other thing that could have happened. He spiked it before the clock time went out.
But he handed it off to the fullback Frazier, who was stacked
Well, that's
up.
what I thought.
Well, I really don't want to make further comment other than the fact that I'm baffled by the fact that there was 2 seconds on the clock when the fumble occurred, and the clock should have never stopped to begin with. There was no incomplete pass. And now the Bruins will get a third opportunity with a 5-second time elapse.
That's what I would have done.
Going to throw it in the end zone. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
84 caught the ball, Tim. That's Mike Lito.
Well, you and I jokingly commented with Bill D before the game about the officiating that he incurred a couple of weeks ago, and I won't get into any of that.
Well, that was, and I will. That was in the Kickotan game where one of the Kickotan players touched a ball that was punted, and one of his players was looked like it was knocked into it, and they gave the ball to the Warriors, and he was very upset about that, and he's not real happy at this situation.
Well, this is outrageous. I mean, if I understand my football, and I've been watching football for years, I don't understand what happened there. How was there time on the clock?
One of them wasn't in. They ran the ball.
They did. They ran the ball. That's what I don't understand.
Clock should have started. Go, set up, go in. think it's terrible, but let's go. I'm sorry.
Well, we're at halftime. We've kind of sat here. Quite frankly, I'm sitting here somewhat dumbfounded. I would love to ask Ron to ask Richard Rawls to explain what happened.
Yeah, maybe Scott.
Yeah, he's right here.
He'll be on the back. Ask Ron to ask him, and then he can relay the information to you, and you can let us know. Appreciate it.
We're at halftime, and our score at halftime, a controversial conclusion to say the least, is Phoebus 14, Bethel 6. We'll return with the third quarter, which should be exciting after this brief timeout. And there you see the touchdown wasn't controversial. It was clearly a good call for the touchdown, but there was a serious time problem occurring, and we've had some clarification before I get into the stats of what happened. And referee Rawls was very kind enough to talk to us, actually talk directly to Scotty, our director, and explain to him how the sequence came down. And I stand in error on the play that I thought was a handoff to William Frazier. There was a play, and I think we're going to try and show it to you right on this play. I thought they handed it to Frazier. In fact, it was spiked by the quarterback, Franklin, and that was the correct call. We've watched it 3 or 4 times, and he did spike the ball. Now, the controversy could be, why was there as much time as there was?
Yeah.
Well, we've been told that there was time on the field. There was still time remaining, that the official time was on the field, and even though the scoreboard clock showed no time left, it was ruled that there was still time on the field according to the officials.
5 seconds are left, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So, but I stand corrected. That was not a handoff to Frazier. That was a two-handed spiking of the ball.
Well, great job by Scotty showing that, Tim, because you and I and everybody up here would have bet the house that was a handoff.
Yeah, we're 150 yards away.
Yeah,
so
but when we saw it on replay, you could definitely see him throwing the ball down with both hands, spiking it. Well,
all right. Statistics in the first half. Bethel rushed the ball 11 times for 11 yards. Leading rusher was Josh Lyles. He had 3 for 5. He and Franklin combined for 4 of 7 passing. Franklin, quite frankly, did the good part of that. He had the touchdown pass, a total of 47 yards, and one was 23 yards on the play. Total of 34 yards well, I'm going to have to check on that. The total yardage would, in fact, be 47.
Now, there's that quarterback.
That's the play where there was the fumble.
11 carries for 11 yards.
Okay.
He's a leading rusher with 5.
Right.
This is passing.
Right. So total yards should be that plus that.
I had 5.
All right. So the total yards is 58. Okay. And for the Phantoms, real quickly, they rushed the ball 24 times for 138 yards. Leading rusher was, of course, McWright, 16 carries for 130. Passing 8 of 9 for Mizell with a touchdown of 56 yards total yardage. And the Phantoms with 175 yards total offense. They had 9 first downs to the 2 for the Bruins, and no penalties for Bethel. 2 penalties for 20 yards against the Phantoms. And the statistics are very lopsided, but the score is not. The difference is only 8, as the Bruins will kick off to the Phantoms to start the second half. This was taken at the 18-yard line by Mizell, and he is driven backwards as the momentum seems to have been carried over by Jonas Watson at halftime, and the Bruins did a good job on special teams. The Phantoms will start from their 23-yard line. Again, I don't want to beat this horse to death, but I would love to recapture, and the fans at home, you may, if you kept this on videotape, you might want to watch that sequence of plays, because there didn't seem to be time on there, but The Phoebus coaching staff livid over the call, but you might have seen at the very end, Bill D said, get the coaches off of here. There's no reason to continue this conversation because it's going to stand, and that's all there's to it.
We can't do anything. All you can do is try to vent your frustration, and that doesn't do any good, and just you're liable to say something or do something you shouldn't do. So he was smart in saying, get the coaches, let's go. I don't like it.
Right,
I don't agree with it, but let's go. We got to go at halftime and make some adjustments.
Cool heads prevailed. 26-yard line after the 3-yard pickup by McWright. Second down and 7. On the play action, Mizell pitching to McWright. McWright trying to turn the corner, and the Phantoms cannot do it as the Bruins defense did a great job getting over there. Among others, Brian Jordan, number 41, getting up off the pile is also Kyle Whitehurst.
I tell you, I'm impressed with Kyle tonight, doing a good job tackling and playing that cornerback. Watch the replay, and they're trying to get outside. Good fake right there to a DB, running the option. But Kyle said, okay, he just zoned in and made the tackle, didn't go for any fakes or anything that time.
Third down and 7. Play action fake. Mizell wants to pass. The ball is batted in the air. It's intercepted. The Bruins have it at the 11-yard line.
And number 50, and then Mizell ends up with the ball.
Brandon Jordan intercepted the ball, but Mizell ended up with it after the whistle had blown. It's Bruins football at the 11-yard line. Brandon Jordan comes up with the deflected pass interception, and the Bruins have a chance to tie or at least make it a one-point.
They'll probably go for a 2-point. There's no doubt in my mind. You have to.
Got to get it in the end zone first.
Well, that's always the first.
That's right. But they are knocking on the door. Bruins trying to get the right personnel on the field, and they do now have trips to the right. No one in the backfield along with Kyle Franklin. He's throwing over the middle. It's tipped, incomplete. So this game has gotten real interesting real quickly here. 10:29 to go in the third quarter, and the Bruins, after the interception, and I think that's the first turnover of the ball game.
Yeah, I think so too. That Eric Carr, number 88, was the intended receiver that time, but he was sandwiched between two defensive backs by the Phantoms. I didn't get the names or the numbers, but he didn't get a chance to get his hands on that.
Second down and 10 at the 11.
Kyle Franklin still quarterbacking.
Ananias Boyd acted like he was going to throw on a halfback option and got back to, got a yard. They'll mark it at the 10-yard line.
Defense of the Phantoms have really shut down Ananias Boyd, Tim. I think you said first half stats, 11 carries, 11 yards or something like that.
That was the team.
That was the team. So, if the team had that, that's not a good night for Ananias.
Third down at the 10-yard line. They can get a first down without scoring, but they'd have to get it inside the 1 to do that. Franklin, play action, wants to throwing a flag down on the play in the end zone. It's a touchdown, but let's wait for the penalty flag, and that looks to be holding.
And that's exactly the call, the preliminary signal right there by Richard Rawls.
We'll give credit on the play for Brian Haygood. And Asia told me before the game, she says, my neighbor Brian's going to score a touchdown tonight. The one thing she didn't know was it'll be a callback.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate for the Bruins, but a break for the Phantoms.
Repeat the down.
Watch the replay here. You won't necessarily be able to see. You'll see the flag thrown into the crowd there. But the touchdown to Haygood is wiped out by the holding call. Moves the ball back to the 21-yard line, and it'll be third down still and 20.
Kyle Franklin doing a good job. Let's hope that Josh Lyles is not hurt too bad over there. I see him at the far end down there, Tim. Looks like he's just trying to stretch and get loose, but right now.
Franklin caught from behind as he is down at the 17-yard line. It'll be fourth down and 16 to go for the Bruins. So we'll wait and see. This should be an interesting call. It looks like they're going to try a field goal attempt.
Well, I would. This will be a lot closer than the first attempt. Watch the replay. Just know where to go. stumbled a little back, but everybody covered.
He took a pretty good lick there.
He took a lick, Tim, and did a great job of holding on to the ball.
Yep. So they'll put the ball down at the 23, so it'll be a 33-yard field goal attempt by Joe Solomon. And this is going to be short again, same as the last attempt, short and to the right. Partially blocked, I'm told.
Well, I tell you, Tim, Phantoms really dodged a bullet that time. Great job by Brandon Jordan. Now, Brandon is a young man who is, I think he is he's got a brother on the Bethel team, Brian Jordan, a younger brother. Number 51 plays in the middle line. His brother plays the linebacker.
Well, Brian's the one that intercepted the pass.
I thought 51 got it.
Brandon, excuse me. Yeah. Brandon Jordan intercepted the pass.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Didn't I say that?
What? I thought I was just concurring with what you said. I said, yeah, that's
okay. I'm going to throw a flag on you.
You only get one per game.
I know, and I'm waiting.
And you haven't even used it yet.
Oh, well, I haven't been that many.
That's true.
Every time they throw one, you're right on top of it. In fact, you called 2 plays before it happened.
It's my job. I saw it coming. All right.
2 plays before it happened,
well,
you saw that.
I had a foresight. What can I tell you?
Yeah, okay, well, I'm not going there.
2nd down and 10. Mizell. McBride is thrown for a loss. In on the play, 35, Lorenzo Perry.
Whoa.
Wrapped him up, and no gain.
Where did he come from? Nobody blocked that young man.
What Travis McBride is saying, because that's one of the few times
defensive ends.
One of the few times tonight that McBride has not gotten positive yardage. So that one is a loss of 2.
Phoebus wants to call a timeout. Watch the hit.
And they are going to call. Here's the replay, and they were just waiting on top of the play for McBride on that one.
Tim, we will pick a player of the game from each one of these teams tonight, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. Plaque comes from Engraving Inc., and they're located at Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Jim at 596-8850. David Buckwalter is the owner. The shirt comes from the Islander Sporting Goods, and they're located in Poquoson. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment and uniforms. Plus, they have screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner. And it's going to be tough tonight to call some, get the player of the game, but we will do our unscientific evaluation and go from there. Next week, Kickingham and Hampton.
Should be a good one.
And then we have the Phoebus Phantoms coming back, play the Hampton Crabbers on the 2 weeks from tonight.
Our final, hard to believe, final regular season game.
That's the 27th.
Third and long, over the middle, complete at the 42-yard line.
Well, I tell you, number 9,
flag down.
Marlon Ellis did a great job of catching the ball.
Flag down. We're going to have roughing the passer, so that will add to the game. Let's see if we can pick it up on the replay here. Mizell stood in there, and he's going to launch it.
All right, and watch, he throws the ball, and then, wow, he gets hit. We just missed him getting hit, but he caught it.
Richard Rawls didn't miss it. He was standing there and saw every bit of it. So
well, Marlon Ellis, Tim, young man is junior.
Personal foul, roughing the passer against Bethel, 1st down.
Did a great job of making sure he caught the ball, knowing he was at the 1st down area. You know, don't worry about running. First thing I do is catch it. Good job.
Hey, you got catch stuff. Catch that. Oh, yeah.
All right, so a huge gain. The ball was way back inside the 20, and this one is marked with the 15-yard tacked on to the 42-yard line. 1st down for the Phantoms. Play action. Mizell does a good job of getting away from a would-be tackler. Now he'll run with the ball and slips down at about the 39-yard line, but picked up 3.
Well, again, number 9, Marlon Ellis was breaking open, but at about that time that he was breaking open, Leon was getting a little bit of pressure, but he's looking, why am I slipping? Maybe just a little dew on the ground. Watch this, right? His feet just went right out from under him.
They mark it at the 39. Field in great condition.
Oh,
Here it
isn't
is, late in the season.
Got the winter eye coming up real good.
The field looks great. On the option, Mizell pitches to McWright, and McWright is stacked up. Loss on the play of a couple of yards. The defense is really tightened up on McWright.
Let me tell you who caused that play not to go anywhere. Number 3, Kyle Whitehurst, blocked the blocker into the ball carrier. Really just stacked the ball. He did not make the tackle, but he did what he had to do so it didn't get outside. If you can watch it this time, he's number 3. He'll be at the top of your screen. Right as he's coming in right now, right there. You see him, he blocked a DB back into McWright. Great job.
And caused McWright not to be able to get the corner. Good play.
Impressed with Kyle Whitehurst tonight defensively, doing a great job.
3rd and 10 for the Phantoms, almost 10. Mizell scrambling, and he will just, if in fact he did get back to the line of scrimmage, and again he paid the price.
Lorenzo
Perry unloaded on him again. So that will bring up 4th down, and that'll bring on Narvid, the punter. The Phantoms not having the same success moving the ball. The Bruin defense has been playing much better here in the second half. Narvid's kick is a nice high spiral. Drives Clark back inside the 5-yard line.
He might have been smarter to let that ball go. It probably would have gone into the end zone.
Yep.
But, when you're back there, you're not sure sometimes where those down markers are, and you say, well, I better catch it.
So the Bruins will start inside their 10-yard line. A good punt by Narvid. And defense for the Phantoms has been great, as you saw in that last exchange. They held the Bruins with a 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line and ended up taking the ball away from them. Franklin continues at quarterback. On the fake pitch, they give it on the inside and a couple of yards out to about the 12, give them about 3 yards on the play.
That was Kenny Clark running the ball that time. Bethel is they're trying to spread out the Phoebus defense. If you notice, they're putting 2 wideouts at one side and a split out, a wide out or split in at the top of the picture, and just trying to spread that defense out a little bit and get a little bit of running room.
2nd down and 7. Franklin play action. Wants to go and does at the 23-yard line. That'll be enough for a Bethel 1st down as Derek Banks is on the receiving end. Nice pattern on that play.
Well, and what a great job of running a pattern, going down and hooking back and coming to the ball that time. And who was that?
That was number 7, Derek Banks.
Derek Banks. Good job, Derek. He's a split end down here at the bottom of the screen.
And Boyd coughs up the football. Phantoms have it at the 15-yard line. Flag down.
And they got a flag too, Tim.
That's your one flag call.
Wait a minute, no. Oh, wait, no. You did not did that simultaneously.
Okay.
If it simultaneously belongs to you. I still got a flag coming. And of course, if I don't use this, I get to carry over to the next game. I'll have 2, right?
That's right. Well, a holding penalty, and we'll listen to Richard Rawls.
Holding, Bethel, penalties, 1st down.
Needless to say, the Phantoms want the ball at the 15-yard line. So a turnover for the Bruins. That's their 1st turnover. Now those turnovers are equal now at 1.
And that's, you're right, and almost at the same end of the field.
Yep.
I mean,
Mizell at quarterback. He's got a DB and McWright in the backfield. This is McWright slanting to the right and dragged down on another good defensive effort. That time 44, Justin Wood was there, along with 51, Brandon Jordan, to make the stop before McWright could turn the corner. And when he's got those burners going, if he gets the corner on you, he can score. 14-yard line, just a gain of a yard. Clock moving, 3:38 as you watch the replay here.
Well,
he's not quite that fast. He's fast.
But so was the defense. We're equally as quick.
Mizell rolling, looking, and throws back. Completes it. No, they say it's incomplete. And that's probably just as well. He would have only gotten a yard. So
that was Jeremy Blunt, number 10. The first time we've called his number tonight.
So it brings up 3rd down and 9. Phantoms need to get the ball just inside the 5 to get a fresh set of downs.
Your goal line.
Clock stops with 3:22 to go in the 3rd quarter. 14-6 is the score. Phoebus scored on 2 touchdown possessions. In the final play with no time remaining, Bethel made it a 14-6 game at halftime. That one looked like it was set up to maybe go for the field goal. They kind of ran that ball toward the middle, and it looks like we will have a field goal attempt by the Phantoms. That would give them a 2-score lead. They lead by 8.
Yeah, Tim, I really believe that they were I don't think they were trying to get field position. I think he was really trying to pick up the first down, but the Bethel defense, the adjustments they've made at halftime, very good.
This will be a 30-yard field goal attempt, and it is no good, wide left. So the Phantoms give the ball up and give it right where the attempt was, at the 20-yard line. Just happens to work out. It was a touchback. As you see some of the crowd in attendance tonight, not as big a crowd as I thought you might have on a really beautiful night for football, and you got a 5-1 Phoebus team here that, quite frankly, I was somewhat surprised by the sparseness of the Phoebus side. In any event, we remind you, only 2 regular season games left for us. There's 3 in the season after tonight, and now the Bruins are going to take a timeout as Josh Lyles is back in at quarterback. We're happy to see him back off the sideline.
Really, really are, Tim. That's.
But as I said, there's 4 weeks left, including this one. We have 2 more regular season games. Our final game is on the 27th of October, and that's Hampton and Phoebus right here. Great way to end the regular season.
Yeah, really. Sam Zoom is giving an award to the senior football player on each one of the Hampton teams this year who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded plaques at a school board meeting at the end of the season. We want to thank David Allen and Zooms for their continuing support of WHCS and our student athletes. And the 2 young men from these 2 teams that will be recognized, from Phoebus, Leon Mizell, and from Bethel, Josh Lyles. Congratulations to those 2 young men. Show you that these athletes are also great academians.
All right, the Bruins will start from their 20, down by 8. Teams have tried 3 field goals. I don't remember the last time I saw a high school game where 3 field goal attempts were made. Flag down, another flag comes down, and we've got the quarterback Lyles down as well, so we'll let Richard Rawls untangle this one for us. So they are indicating 1 penalty. Here's the replay, holding against the Bruins, which will probably be declined if that is the only penalty, since there was a loss of about 5 on the play.
Holding against the Bruins. Penalties declined. 2nd down.
Somewhat dependent on where the spot of the foul was, because it is a spot foul. If it had been a substantial behind the line of scrimmage situation,
it would only have been 5 more yards because it was right at the 20, right on the line of scrimmage.
So it is declined. 2nd down and 15 after the 5-yard loss.
It's like getting an illegal procedure and making it down count 2. I mean, you can look at it that way.
Yep. Lyles, the quarterback, appears to be changing the play at the line. Pitch to Boyd. Boyd, who has just been a non-factor tonight. Picked up a couple. Another late flag.
Yeah, you saw who had a hold of his jersey? Xavier Adibi. He's got a hold of his jersey, and Ananias wasn't going to go anywhere carrying that weight.
Another penalty flag. Clipping.
Now, you might take that one out. Well, like.
Here's your replay.
Watch Adibi right here, Tim. Yeah, he got hold of that shirt. He couldn't catch anything with the shirt.
Bethel. Penalty will be administered from the flag. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat the down.
All right, so you got that one right. They did take it. Half the distance to the goal. So the Bruins headed in the wrong direction after their defense did a good job of keeping the Phantoms out of the end zone. There you see the scoreboard. That's the time remaining in the third quarter. Coming to you from Darling Stadium. This game videotaped on the 13th of October, Friday the 13th, the year 2000. Lyle standing back at his 1 yard line, and he's going to be sacked at the 5. And that is the aforementioned number 10, Jeremy Blunt, for the sack. So the Bruins definitely not headed in the right direction if you're a Bruin fan. All the way back to the 5. Here's the replay.
Coming off of a defensive end position, just nobody picked him up.
Well, I think they tried. He just got by the man who was trying to block him almost instantaneously, and after that it was Katie bar the door. So the Bruins now standing back inside their 5, 3rd down and 25. A couple of penalties and a couple of sacks. And this is Boyd. And Boyd gets out to about the 10-yard line, but it will be punt time for the Bruins. And again, another late flag comes in. Let's see how this one's called. Now, Ananias Boyd is clapping, so it might go against the Phantoms.
Might be face mask. We'll see.
Personal foul against the Phantoms.
Well, it didn't indicate a face mask, but a personal foul, and that could be, well, it depends on whether it carries an automatic first down. Let referee Rawls tell us.
Dead ball foul, personal foul, late hit against Phoebus. 4th down.
So it does not carry an automatic first down. It'll still be 4th down and long. And I would assume that the Bruins will bring out the kicking team.
You got to punt it.
4th and 5. Josh Lyles, who is the punter, shaken up in the first half. His replacement, Kyle Franklin, came on and scored the only touchdown.
Well, Kyle Franklin's in it right now, Tim. He's the one that centers for punts and for a field goal.
And it's a fake. And they complete the pass, and the sideline for the Phantoms knew it. They were trying to signal over there.
Bill D was yelling and yelling, is going to throw a pass, and they sure did.
Well, that's the
gutsy
advantage.
Call.
That's the advantage. Yes, it was a gutsy call. If you don't get that one, you've given the ball to your opponent at the 25-yard line. But, all right, we understand that Andy in the truck called that play. So did he call that into the Bethel sideline, or?
Well, I saw Bill D down there jumping up and down, pass.
Yeah, he saw something in the formation that he saw, and the Bruins come up with the trick play and a first down, a huge first down at the Phantom 42-yard line. And now we've got whistles. Maybe they're going to watch this replay.
End of the quarter.
They're going to have a replay. Did they call on a replay? Reminds me of the NFL, if you don't get the playoff.
I don't think that happened. Good shot of the... listen to this. We're going to hear it, these young ladies. Just a shot.
All right. We are at the end of 3. It's 14-6. All right, let's go down to the sideline.
You're watching the Phoebus Phantoms on WHCS TV 46.
What'd they say?
I think they're watching 46.
No, that was. Now, see, we should have the cheerleader competition. That's an excellent job they did. Last week we had the Hampton cheerleaders. They did a great job. And we should have a weekly contest here as each of the 4 schools from Hampton have a chance to compete.
Well, we could do that and let Bob Killen be the judge.
See, by the way, I had a tough time Monday night because I had a dilemma on what I was going to watch. Because it was either watch Minnesota Vikings in Tampa Bay or the jump rope championship on ESPN, and it was a toss-up. But I finally decided to watch the Minnesota Vikings.
You didn't go with the jump rope?
The jump rope championship on ESPN. Just those of you that missed it, I know you're probably going to want to jump off of a building, but it was one of the.
Well, do you think they'll replay it?
I hope so. I waited all night to see if they repeated it. That's right. But I just had to get it. I was flipping around. I watched the pregame thing, and I was just before they said, "Now please stay tuned for the jump rope championships."
So what?
I said, "Yeah, well, let's see. Gee, Tampa Bay and Minnesota or the jump roping championships? Gosh, I don't know.
What do I want to watch?"
All right, the Bruins with good field position now. Start the 4th quarter. Got a man wide open. He had to come back to it, but he caught it inside the 10-yard line. He had to wait for that ball to get to him. That was Willis Overton who caught it at the 10-yard line. They're going to rule him down at the 10. So the Bruins have a first down.
Watch the replay.
They mark it just outside the 10. Here's the play action. And Lyles throws. He got hit again just as he threw it. They say his knee went down just on the 10-yard line. So it is, in fact, not first and goal. The ball is just, you can see it there in your picture, just short of the 10-yard line. So technically, the Bruins could get a first down. But this has been a whole different effort by the Bruins, who couldn't get a first down until the final minute of the first half.
And then they take too long.
Oh,
my flag.
Your flag, you got it. 117 yards passing now between Franklin and Lyle.
Dead ball foul, delay a game against the Bruins, first down.
Well, you know, if you're Tracy Parker, you're going nuts. We just get a great play. We're down on the 10-yard line, and you take too much time.
Take too much time. It's mind-boggling sometimes.
Well, you know, you don't know whether to blame the coaches for not getting the play in quickly enough or what the situation was.
I would, inevitably, it's probably the coaches have not called the play and got it in quick enough. These young men are ready to go.
Lyles, feeling the pressure, steps up, throws for the corner. The defender fell down, but the pass was incomplete.
Oh.
And now the intended receiver making contact with the line judge there.
Oh,
back judge.
Derek Banks took care of the official.
Said, get out of my way. Clock
but
stops.
The defensive here.
Watch this. Boom. Who said it's not dangerous being an official? Killen thinks it was pass interference on the back judge.
I knew he'd have a wise remark.
All right.
But the defender fell down that time. Yeah. But the pressure on Lyles.
2nd and 15. He's got the
what a catch.
At the 10-yard line. So they got back the 5 from the delay of game. The ball came loose, but the whistle had blown. So at the 10-yard line now, it'll be 3rd down and 10.
What a catch.
That was a great catch. Watch the replay here. Yeah. I mean, over the shoulder. That was just an amazing.
On the fingertips.
Boy, we're going to have some difficulty in picking some players of the game here tonight. Overton with a great grab to keep the drive alive, but it is 3rd and 10. Yeah. Scotty's out of breath from jumping back and forth over that console.
I can hear him, but pretty soon he was wheezing a minute ago.
And now the Bruins have to take a timeout, so their time management here has been a bit choppy in the last couple of minutes.
Well, you want to make sure your play call here. You got 3rd and 10, and
this is if you ever needed to call a timeout to make sure you had everything straightened out, this would be the time. You've got to get the right call.
Yes, 4th quarter, and we got 9:58 to go, just under 10 minutes.
And I'm going to mention the fact that Parkline Wood Funeral Home, where the manager Nancy Staten is on staff, they are conveniently located at the Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue. For a tour of their new facility, please stop by there or call them at 827-4670. Again, we thank our corporate sponsors for helping defray the cost of bringing you this coverage of high school football at its best. Peninsula District football, the Bruins of Bethel and the Phantoms of Phoebus. Hope you're enjoying it.
Is this game turned into a spectacle tonight?
I'm telling you, the Bruins are a whole different team here in the second half.
They don't even look the same.
No.
Went in and changed them.
Oh, boy. You got people jumping offside. I won't. We said they didn't look like the same team. They didn't look like it on that play. That's unfortunate for the Bruins because it looks like they may have left early.
Well, but it would look like a defensive man was moving too. So we'll see what Richard Rawls says.
Yep, going to be against the Bruins.
They're just making it harder and harder and harder for themselves.
3rd and 15. Need to get.
Dead ball foul, false start against the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Get to the 1 for a first down, or obviously in the end zone. Lyle is your quarterback. Double wides to the near side. No one in the backfield with him. He's got got a single wide to the left, and then the ends are tight. Lofts it up, and no penalty flag. There was some contact being made, but they're going to rule incidental contact.
Well, that ball, the receiver was just trying to find out what shoulder that ball was going to come over. But, boy, the pressure on Lyles that time, another hit as he let the ball fly.
Now, they've already tried 2 field goals, and this would be about if they tried a field goal here, it would be about a, 32-yarder. But they're not going to do that. They've missed pretty badly on their other 2 attempts. So with 4th down and 15, they need to get to the 1 or better.
Well, both of those tight ends are eligible receivers, and there he is,
wide open.
Nobody
picked him up. Willis Overton with his 2nd catch. In the second half here, and that's his touchdown of 16 yards.
Tim, what the Bruins do is they send 2 wide outs on one side and a split end wide out at the other side, and in essence have 2 tight ends and 3 wide outs. And nobody picked up that tight end on the left-hand side.
Crucial 2-point conversion attempt here. But they've done it in the air. They have not been able to run against the Phantoms. 14-12. No one in the backfield, and it is good.
You've got a tie game. And that was Derek Banks.
Watch the touchdown replay.
Watch this end at the top of the screen. Went down and nobody picked him up.
He was wide open.
That was just a missed assignment, Tim.
And then Derek Banks was the receiver for the 2-point conversion to make it 14-all. 9:49 left in regulation. And, of course, we emphasize that because there is overtime in high school football. I'll give credit to the Bruins. They have battled back. They looked really anemic in the first half. Their offense didn't get a first down until the final minute of the first half.
Look at the statistics for the first half.
Yeah, they were just blown away, 175 to about 50 yards in offense. But
well, look at the difference. The first half, a quarter and a little more, a little over a quarter, McWright had over 100 yards rushing. The second half, he probably doesn't have 20.
Not you. I don't know who said overtime before the game started. I think I heard someone say 35-7 or something. I didn't. Not me. No way. All right. The Phantoms fumble the ball. It's loose. Who's got it? Phantoms have it, but boy, that was close.
Man.
So what had been a pretty lopsided ball game is no more. 14-all, 9:42 to go. Look at that scramble for the loose ball. From the 19-yard line. Flare pass near side, McWright to the 20-22. He's spun out of bounds. The ball came loose, but he was out of bounds at the 23-yard line, so that'll be a gain of 4. But I'm telling you that Bruin defense is just really in hot pursuit. They have really turned it up. Tracy Parker's group has really come on here in the second half and have made a game out of this one. Mizell just got the flip away, and he'll probably regret it because it ends up in a loss on the play.
Well, that play did not look good from the beginning because Mizell looked like he got tripped as he was started to go back on the option, and he waited too long to make the pitch.
Watch this.
Right there.
Yep.
Oh, he's almost gets. Oh, he was down.
It looked like he was down.
He was down when he pitched the ball.
They mark it back at the 18-yard line. I'm telling you, that replay guy is, besides being out of breath, he's doing a great job. 3rd down and 11.
Bang my drum, Willie.
Play action. Mizell steps up, throws, got a man wide open at the 30-yard line, but he went backwards, and it'll be very close to a first down. He had the first down, but in his efforts to get more yardage, circled back and may not have the first down. Now it's going to be close.
Well, Eagle Eye.
Well, Eagle Eye is going to have to ask some players to move first so I can see where the ball is. Do require the ability to see. Watch this replay. I think you're going to see that the ball is caught on the 31 actually.
Yeah.
And he ends up on the other side of the 30 at the 29. I'm going to say, Bob, I think that he's going to be right on it. I think he's going to have it by just an inch. Well, he got 6 inches.
He got the football. I'm disappointed. The other night you said on the white line, and you had it. Oh, you really meant an inch more than the length of the football, because that's about what it was.
I had a bad angle here. What can I tell you? I had a bad angle. I'm a little under the weather, you know.
Yeah, under what weather? This is beautiful weather.
That's right. No, not the weather. All right, the Phantoms stay alive on a clutch pass from Mizell. This is another pass. This one's incomplete on the far sideline.
Well, he is getting some pressure. That time put on by number, who is that, 58, Tim? That's Darrell Jones.
8:19 left in regulation, tied at 14. Phoebus dominated the first 23 minutes of the half on a very controversial series of plays to conclude the first half. On the last play of the half, a touchdown pass to make it 14-6. They have scored on a 15-yard pass to Willis Overton. The 2-point conversion was good, and we're tied at 14. Mizell swings near side McWright, and McWright had no chance to catch it. Took a pretty good lick, a good fair hit. And the incomplete pass.
How big was that touchdown that was called back?
Yep. Big. 8:14 to go. Next Friday night, as you watch the replay here, next Friday night, Kecoughtan and Hampton. And then the last regular season game for us, 27th of October. Watch that hit. 27th of October, it'll be Hampton and Phoebus. I understand Xavier Adibi is not in the game. He has been dinged. And
well,
he
was.
The sideline.
I saw him limping earlier.
That's what Bob said.
And
incomplete pass, 4th down. That'll bring on Narvid, the punter. There's the DB, number 38, right in your picture. And he is standing there and walking very gingerly as you see the last play here. And that one, no, that was the time
before the last, Scotty.
Narvid gets a good snap. Nice looking kick. He's really punted well tonight. Fielded 42-yard line, and look out, the return is on. Clark, he's still going down to the 25-yard line.
Fumbled.
And Phoebus got it. Wow, what a break.
He was, I don't know what player was tackling him, Tim, but they stripped the ball.
All right, we're going to return to Darling Stadium for the conclusion of tonight's ball game after this brief timeout. All right, back to the live action. The punt from Narvid was returned beautifully by Clark, who coughed it up. And guess who we are giving credit with the recovery? Narvid. So he punted the ball beautifully, and then apparently, because he's the one all the teammates were congratulating, recovered the loose ball after Clark had a great return.
But I tell you, Bethel has taken the outside game away from the Phantoms. Tim, they were being able to get outside and pick up good yardage. They have, every time they've tried to go outside lately, they've gone backwards. They lost 5 on that play.
Mizell, quick look over the middle.
Whoa!
Good
what
hit
a
and a
nice hit, but caught the ball and
great
hung
catch.
on to it. Who's that? Number 14.
That's 14, Chino Simmons, a sophomore.
Welcome to the game, Chino.
Well, he did a nice job of holding on to it.
Yes, he did.
Picked up almost 10. Watch this replay. He took a pretty good stick. I mean, he definitely took a belt. That was Kenny Clark who put it on him. 3rd down and 6. Mizell wide open. McWright couldn't quite get to the corner, but he has enough for the first down out near the 40.
What a nice call that time. That offensive line did a great job of zone blocking and opening up that trap play that time for McWright. That's the biggest run he's had in the second half.
That was an 11-yard run by McWright. And look at this drive this young man has. He's just a little guy, folks. This is not a big 230-pounder driving the ball. This is a 5'8", 160-pounder.
Well, Tim, he's got it at the 40, but he was tackled at the 37.
That's what I'm saying, is he picked up 3 after with 2 guys all over him. How many yards does McWright have on the night now, Bob? 137. So he's added virtually nothing to his first half total. At the 40, first down. He had lost several, on several plays had lost yardage. Mizell on the option keeps, and ball comes loose, but they're going to rule it was down. Going to say it was down at the 41-yard line.
Boy, that ball just has gotten very hard to hold on to. I don't care which team we're talking about.
6:05, and the clock is moving. Here's the replay. You're going to see Mizell. And they're going to say his forward progress has stopped. And
he was down when the ball came out that time.
But an important part of the offense, Xavier Adibi, dinged up and has not played now in the backfield, along with McWright, is number 12, Mike Dixon. And this is the end around. This is Mizell. Leon Mizell down the far sideline. He is to the 40 of the Bruins. That'll be another first down.
The Bruins didn't pick it up, Tim. They put Mizell at a wideout. And who was quarterbacking? Was that Hendricks?
Well, I didn't even notice. Let's see. He is in the game. That is Hendricks.
3.
That's the play. Watch Mizell. Nice move there and a good block downfield. But they are all the way down. They ruled him out at the 42-yard line of Bethel. But Hendricks now is at quarterback. Ronnie Hendricks. And this is McWright. He's close to 10 yards on the carry.
It's a little different look maybe with a different quarterback all of a sudden running the ball.
Gain of 9 on that play for Travis McWright. Watch the replay here as Scotty jumps back over the console.
He's got that down pretty good. We'll maybe put that in the Olympics, you suppose?
The leaping director.
The leaping instant replay director / director.
They mark him at the 33-yard line. It's 2nd down and a yard. Clock is restarted as we hit the 5-minute mark in regulation, but the Phantoms are driving at the Bruin 33. And that'll be more than enough for a first down. And that is yet another new number in there, Maurice Boone, who we saw briefly earlier in the ball game. He carries now with Xavier Adibi not able to go.
Well, he's only 5'7", 150 sophomore, Tim. We got a timeout.
Is this a Phoebus time?
I'm not sure. Tracy Parker wants to talk to Richard Rawls. They came all the way out, and Richard says, I'll talk to you, but let's go to the sideline. And you can see him there in your picture. We don't have a camera over there. We can't pick up anything, so we'll assume that he wants some clarification and maybe he sees some holding or something going on.
Well, let's talk about some of our candidates here. We could just start at the top of the roster and go down.
Let's go to Bethel. You got Ananias Boyd, Justin Wood, Kyle Whitehurst, who I'm real impressed with tonight, Jones, Brandon Jordan, Overton, Watson Banks. For the Phantoms, you got Harris, Adibi, McWright, Mizell, Littlejohn, just to name a few. I mean, they're just coming. Everybody's making some big plays.
See y'all later. Bye-bye. It's been fun.
Kyle Franklin comes to my mind, too, because he sparked this team when Josh Lyles had to go.
I believe that.
So the list gets longer, and this will be tough.
Well, we could just, if you want to, we could just use that.
That's what I said. We could start at the top of the roster. So our candidates for players of the game continues to grow, and we're going to disappoint somebody, but there's some excellent candidates. It's been a hard-fought game. We've had a couple of real good games the last 2 weeks. We saw Hampton beat Warwick last week, and this game is still up for grabs. Inside the 20-yard line, McWright continues to chew up yardage.
Looks like McWright all of a sudden has got a second wind. I mean, the third quarter was nothing for him, just a bust.
Well, I think that he's getting better blocking now. I don't think that they were blocking as well, and I think the momentum was with the Bruins on defense. As you watch the replay, McWright here just chewing up yardage again.
You know, that's a real funny thing. I talked to somebody about momentum and heard some different people talk about it, Tim. And one of the things says once you got momentum on your side, you use it for all you can because you never know when it's going to leave you.
Well, and with the DB out of there, we're looking at some fresh running backs in there. This is
whoa! We got a flag.
Flag down.
I shouldn't have said that.
See, now
I had to, right? that's next week.
Maurice Boone was the ball carrier, but let's see what the penalty flag is.
Oh, big holding penalty.
Oh, yes, holding against the Phantoms. Bye-bye momentum, Scotty says. Now he's doing play-by-play from the truck. We're going to have to figure out what this guy does.
Yeah, I know. But, you know.
He's figured it out. He doesn't need us.
He doesn't need anybody.
He's going to do it all.
He can make a running commentary, show replay, set it up.
All I want to know is how is he going to do that camera work?
That's holding against Phoebus, 10-yard penalty from the end of the run, repeat the down.
All right, 10 yards from the end of the run. You heard referee Rawls tell you the ball's moved back to the 31, almost the 32-yard line.
Plenty of time.
Time is moving, I will say. It's 4:05 and moving. One timeout for the Bruins. 2 timeouts remain for the Phantoms. Mizell is in motion coming to the near side. Hendricks wants to throw, and he throws in a crowd. And it's incomplete, and that was almost picked off. That was not, in my opinion, not a good pass.
And Mizell's wanting interference, but he was definitely going for the ball. And the reason he didn't catch it was because Leon was in his way. Watch this.
See, he was playing the ball all the way.
Yeah.
That was a good no call. So now a timeout has been called by the Phantoms, and that will give them one remaining, as well as the Bruins. There you see some conversation and encouragement being passed out on the sideline.
Tim, we may see at one time here tonight with Mizell playing the whiteout, going in motion, pitch him the ball, throw it back to Hendricks, or, you know, where you would see him run it, he may pass it, and you could always pass it back to the quarterback. We've seen that. Remember, we saw that in a championship game or an all-star game with Hampton when Eric Hunter was quarterbacking.
Boy, you reached back for that one.
I can remember it was an all-star game he did it, but he also did it during the regular season, I believe.
Let's set it up for you. It's 3rd down and about 14 to go for the Phantoms. They have the ball at the 31-yard line. They need to get it inside the 18 to keep this one going. It's 3rd and long. They've got McWright in the backfield along with Mike Dixon. Mizell is a flanker to the right. Hendrick has time, throws, got a man wide open at the 20. He's got it very close to the first down, depends on the mark, very close to the 18-yard line. This will be crucial. It looks like he's going to be a little
He's
short.
Gonna be short, yeah.
Because they've marked it closer to the 19.
And again, big Shaheed Harris.
Watch this and see if the mark is the... Well, that's a good call. A mark right at the 19-yard line where his shoulder went down after he was tripped up. So it's 4th down and less than a yard. And the Phantoms are not going to go for the field goal attempt. They may try the quick count. They do. They give it to McWright. He's got the first down close to the 16-yard line.
Man, what?
Who do you give it to when you need a couple of yards?
And that's who you give it to, Tim. But what was good about that is you really got up there and run the play really
quickly.
before Bethel really got set defensively.
Yeah, I think that was a very good point on your part. They didn't allow the defense to get entrenched there. Watch it. You won't see that part of it, but they took no time at all, and a great block on the right side to spring McWright. His offensive line did a great job.
And also Mike Dixon, number 12, picked up the linebacker.
On the night now, 157 yards for McWright. He's just been phenomenal. And this is McWright again, right up the middle. Score!
Oh, wow.
16-yard run right up the middle by McWright. That's his 2nd touchdown of the ball game.
My. What a nice job that offensive line did to open that hole.
And that's what I was just alluding to. Give credit to the offensive line. The Bruins on defense were pumped up. They were stopping them, but the offensive line turned it around.
And again, we want to talk about Alan Pavlik at center, Luke Ely and Eric Edmonds at the guards, the tackles, Micah Littlejohn and Jason Bowles, and the tight end, Shaheed Harris.
The extra point is good. Darius Barnes makes it 21-14. 2:46. Watch the replay of the touchdown.
Right, and look at the hole that was opened up. And then you hit at the 4 or 5 yard line, and you spin and turn and make sure he leans the ball. He's already in the end zone, but he's not too sure.
Before. All right, we are going to be looking at our players of the game here. Let's see, Bob, is it too early to call? 2:46 to go. This one's still not over with.
Yeah,
the Bruins,
that's true.
Bruins are still in. Why don't we wait? We've got a couple of.
Yeah, let's wait a little bit.
And we do want to tell everybody. We probably don't want to tell them this, but when we select our players of the game, we try not to always give it to the same players. It would be real easy when you've got a star running back or a quarterback or that type of thing, where it would be easy to always give it to the same guy. So,
well, a good example is when Ronald Curry was playing Marcus Hagans. In this case, McWright. I mean, he's just having a phenomenal game again tonight.
And he has won our player of the game before, so for that reason, we're going to try and spread it around to some other equally important players in the game, and they may not have scored the 2 touchdowns, but they've certainly contributed in other ways. And I think what we're going to head towards there is, we'll wait on this one and wait another minute, see what happens here, because the Bruins are still in this, and we're not sure who to give it to on the Bruins side either.
You're right.
This is a squib kick, short one taken by one of the up men. This is dangerous. Out to the 46. The ball came loose.
No, they sent it down. He was down.
So some bang plays. This officiating crew's had some tough calls to make tonight.
But Tim, they have been as good as any crew we've had. Third time we've had this crew. One time we had it without Richard Rawls. Richard was in Russia, and in fact, one of the officials said, you know, you ought to really blow the minds of the people up talking about you and I when he turns on his mic is to call that penalty in Russian. I said, well, we probably wouldn't have understood it if he did it in English, but that's a good point.
Officials having a confab at the 45. Not sure what the discussion is about. You see some of the crowd here have enjoyed a good ball game tonight.
Let's see if Richard, he's going to come over and talk to Bill D perhaps, or.
Scoreboard shows one timeout remaining for each team. I'm not sure what this is about.
Well, he's talking to Stan Sexton, who has got the headphones on. Perhaps he's getting some information to the clock operator. Maybe we need to put more time on the clock or something. Let's see.
Yeah, he is trying to adjust the clock.
We got 2:20 now, and he wants to adjust it to 22:50. No, that's close.
21:95.
I think it's he wants to put 5 seconds back on the clock.
That's right. 10% off, 29.50.
Scotty is just full. I tell you, you give him a tailgate party, and he's just ready to go for the rest of the night, isn't he?
He is on fire. All right, we've got it set up now. There's 2:25 left on the clock. So that's the reason for the stoppage, and quite frankly, that benefits everybody, but probably the defense for the Phantoms more than the offense for the Bruins, because there was a lot of stuff going on here. Now the defense has had a chance to take a deep breath here and get set to dig in. 45 is the yard line to start this possession. Lyles has plenty of time, throws over the middle, he's got to complete it at the 45. He's still on his feet. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line, but that'll be more than enough for a first down for the Bruins.
And that was, who was that? It was number, 84?
84, that is Mike Lito.
Tim, and we got a penalty. I can't say what that is out there.
All right, well, that's the yellow hanky. Let's see what the call is. I think they're going to say roughing the passer. That's the call. So they'll tack on 15.
Tim, there were two receivers right there together, which is something you usually don't want to happen. But in that case, one of the other receiver actually
watch if we can see this. And here's the young man from the. Now, how do you hold up? If he hit him, and he did, he just released the ball as he got there. And Bob had mentioned to me he didn't think it was a good call, and I don't think so either.
On that, I'm going to have to agree with you.
You can't just stop dead. That one picked off. And down quickly, that is number 7 for the Phantoms. That's DJ Parker.
And DJ came in because of Phillip Brown not being able to good. What a big interception for DJ.
Huge interception after the first down at the 22-yard line. But that one is wiped out on the interception of the pass from Lyles. DJ Parker stops the bleeding. Here's the replay.
Watch the replay, Tim. I'm going to go with I'm going to pick the Bethel player of the game, and I'm real impressed with this young Kyle Franklin coming in and do it. But we don't really recognize some of the defensive players as often as we want to, and I thought Kyle Whitehurst just had an outstanding game, and he is my pick for player of the game for the Bethel Bruins tonight.
All right, a timeout has been called. I believe this one has been called by the Phantoms. Okay, so they've used all of their time. And I'm going to have a tough time. I'm going to go with Michael Littlejohn over at Phoebus for the same reasons. And again, Mizell's had a great game. McWright, needless to say, has had a wonderful game. Harris with some great catches. Adebe with great effort on both sides of the ball. About half a dozen players for both squads.
And you could take that front line from center to tackle to the guards and just give one big one for them.
Exactly.
So Micah Littlejohn and Kyle Whitehurst, the 2 players of the game for tonight.
And not an easy choice. One of the more difficult choices we've had. So please, those who didn't get our vote, please understand that if we could have given several, we would have had no problem doing so.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of static for the 3 last week when I went to pick them. He said, who's playing for the 3rd one? I said, Tim Cole.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Well, I really should have said Bob Killen, but
Mizell is back at quarterback, and he is taken out of bounds. One of the things the Phantoms did not want to have happen, Mizell had to reverse his field and then got driven out. So that stops the clock with 1:47 left. The Bruins with just 1 timeout, but they won't have to burn it here because the out-of-bounds play stops the clock.
Stops it right away.
So Mizell has returned at quarterback. Ronnie Hendrick came in and just ignited this team in tandem with Mizell. They just did a great job together. Phantoms 2nd down and 11. And they'll drive the pile to about the 29-yard line as the offensive line does a good job surging. They'll pick up about 5.
Well, if he can pick up maybe 2 first downs, he can keep the ball out of the Bruins' hands.
Well, this is a big, crucial play here. It's 3rd down and about 2. And McWright is in the backfield. They've got 3 in the backfield. Got the stacked eye. And they fake to the eye. And
he just won a quarterback keeper, yeah. But the Bruins were not fooled by it. So that brings up a 4th down, and you really don't want to put the ball back in the Bruins' hands, but you can't go for it here and give them this kind of field position either.
No, we saw a very strange play last week at the halftime when Marcus Vick took a knee on a 4th down inside his own 20-yard line and allowed Hampton to have one last shot at the end zone before halftime. Remember that?
Right, and it was a completed pass and almost a touchdown, and I think it was Fenner was on the receiving end, but I think what Bill did, and I thought that was a smart move.
Head ball foul, delay a game, 5-yard penalty.
You know, why not? If you're going to punt the ball, run as much clock off as you can. I thought the Bruins would call timeout. They didn't do that.
And the Phantoms have no timeouts, so obviously they couldn't stop it either. So Narvid is back to punt, and he's done a very fine job of punting tonight, but this will be a big rush on him, I'm sure. High snap, but he gets it away. And it hits the Phantom players. They need to down that ball because now it would be something the Bruins could pick it up and run with it and wouldn't have to worry about fumbling it. There's a rule there that once it's touched by the kicking team, even if the Bruins picked it up and ran with it and fumbled it, it wouldn't matter. They wouldn't lose it. But they have the ball, the Bruins do, with 14 seconds remaining. And a discussion. There was a penalty flag because the ball hit the player. They're going to say that he interfered with the opportunity for the Bruins to catch the ball. There wasn't a Bruin within 10 yards of the ball, was there? No, I'm asking now. I'm not trying to be critical.
I
but
know. I'm trying to.
Couldn't he
Scotty, do you have that on replay?
Couldn't the Phantom player, couldn't he have downed the ball?
Sure he could have.
So it hit him. So what if it hit him? If it hit him, okay, watch. See if we can. Here's where the ball is going to hit the Phantom. Right.
Oh,
there's no one even close.
He's 6 yards away.
There wasn't
How
anyone.
could that be a penalty?
Well, I'm sure Richard Rawls has a reason for the call, but
well, he didn't throw the flag. The side guy here did.
Side guy.
The side judge. Side guy.
Side guy. Well, Richard will tell
We
us.
have kick catching interference against Phoebus. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, re-kick.
Are you kidding me? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That is the strangest call I have ever seen in a high school game or any game. There wasn't a receiver within 5 yards of the ball.
The receiver was backing away from the ball, thinking it's going to hit and bounce, and it hit a.
Now, I thought I'd seen it all in the first half with the time on the clock, but that one really mystifies me, and I'd love to hear. And maybe I don't understand the rule, and that's possible. Maybe Richard would be kind enough to explain that to us.
Well, and maybe what we're going to see here, Tim, is the Bethel Bruins.
Watch the replay. I'm sorry. Watch the replay here.
Yeah.
It
Well, watch the Phoebus going for a safety. They're going to run around, run the clock out, give them 2 points.
Yeah. Well, that's a
I'll
possibility.
lay you odds that's what's going to happen.
You've seen the replay. Now there's a delay of game. But you've seen that replay of the punt, and you saw it again a minute ago. There wasn't a player. And I know the halo rule, you can't interfere with someone's opportunity to field the ball. But that, anyway, okay. I won't. Strange stuff.
Well, you give him 2 points, and you get a free kick. No.
No, the rule was interference to make a catch on the play. Now, he can run around there until the time is almost off the clock, and that's what he's going to do. And now he'll go out of the end zone with 4 seconds to go, give them 2 points, and then they'll have a free kick at the 20-yard line. Why would we have something normal to end the game, right?
Well, that was a logical thing.
Yeah, you had that one nailed.
You got 4 seconds now. You're going to punt the ball or kick it off or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to squib kick it, number one.
Andy said, well, the guy that scored that should get player of the game.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, killing with one hands off the wall.
Andy said that.
So Andy in the truck says that the guy who just scored the safety should get the player of the game.
Tell Andy to stick to his chicken sandwiches.
Better yet, bring me another chicken sandwich.
This is the guy who has trouble spelling Phoebus.
Well, that's not an easy word to spell.
I know that.
I've
But
misspelled it.
it's not the first time this year he's had to spell that name.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed tonight's game. We've had a good
We've
time
had a
bringing it to
great
you,
time.
and it's been a real good ball game. It's very unfortunate one of these teams is going to lose, but it ain't over yet. There's 4 more seconds.
Hey, listen, Tim. What'll happen here is they're going to try that play where you kick it and then throw it back across the field.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Andy just said next week it's going to be Tim Henson, Bob Cole.
Probably will.
We can go with that.
Well, I'm not sure. Maybe Scotty will be up here. I'm not sure. We might try
Scotty
3 in the
does
booth.
everything anyway.
3 in the booth. How's that sound? All right. This could be, and I emphasize could be, the final play of the game. It's a free kick. Now they can punt it. He's chosen to place kick it. So here we go. This is Darius Barnes. He's going to kick a squib. And the time is started as soon as it's caught. Sideline. He wants to get out of bounds. He does so, and there is no time on the clock, but that doesn't mean anything yet. Let's wait and see, because we thought there was no time left in the first half, and that is the call. There is no time remaining, so the strategy works for the Phantoms as they hold on and get a hard-fought 21-16 victory over a game Bethel Bruin team. They really came alive in the second half.
They really did. They were a completely different team in the second half. And you got to take your hat off to the adjustment that the coaches made at halftime, because the third quarter definitely belonged to the Bruins.
We want to thank our corporate sponsors tonight, Zooms with 6 convenient locations, and the game brought to you in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, where the manager is Nancy Staten. For Bob Hintz and Bob Killen, this is Tim Cole and the entire 46 crew. The final score is Phoebus 21 and Bethel 16. Good night, everybody.